Can't decide and torn between a romantic, comedy, action, or an indie film to watch for the weekend? Well. Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast is your ultimate guide to the latest movies. Join us as we dissect the latest on the blockbusters. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast.
Hello, all my cinema junkies. Welcome to the show. We've got a lot to cover, from superheroes to sinister children. We're going to be looking at them all. We're talking latest news covered by your favorite box office junkie, yours truly, Bryn Taylor. We'll look at upcoming reboots, film secrets, summer headlines, and of course, what everyone cares about. What is happening this week with Marvel's many spin-offs? Stay tuned till the end because we will be starting a little segment I like to call We Hate John Walker. And if you don't know who that is, I want you to pause this episode, watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, and come back here when you're ready to punch the new Captain America in the face with me, okay? Alright guys, girls, and galactic overlords, I'm Bryn Taylor, and this is Box Office Addict. Let's start this show off right. We need to cover the latest movie news. I've got to keep you all updated on the announcements, the cancellations, but most importantly, the gossip. And let me tell you guys, the tea is hot, and I'm serving it out so you can sip it up. First, let's talk about women not supporting women. And when I say women, I mean one woman. A woman who happens to be one of the most well-known female comedic writers / actresses of the last 2 decades. That's right, Miss Tina Fey, I'm talking to you. She has caught the attention of many critics in this recent piece of information brought to light. We all know the 2004 film Mean Girls. You know? The one with Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Seyfried, Rachel McAdams. Okay, well, the premise is just how it sounds. High school girls just being the absolute worst to each other. Because that's what girls do, right? However, I didn't expect this type of catty behavior from a woman who paved the way for female comedians in the industry. Well, it just goes to show you power makes you passive. Anyways, Mean Girls is based off of a book titled Queen Bees and Wannabes by the author Rosalind Wiseman. Now, although Faye wrote the screenplay, Wiseman is the brains behind the story. Ever since 2004, Mean Girls has made waves. It broke the box office. It's insanely quotable. I mean, fetch. On Wednesdays we wear pink. And is butter a carb? I mean, those are sayings I use maybe 5 times a day. On top of that, it's had sequels made, merch is sold at every Marshall's teen section, and there's even a Broadway musical Mean Girls, which also is its own national tour. Well, before COVID messed that up for all of us. Needless to say, Mean Girls is basically its own goldmine, with many of the multi-millions it's made ready to go around. So then, why is Rosalind Wiseman making no money off of it? To be fair, she did get her share when the movie was initially released, but since then, not 1 cent has been paid Wiseman's way. This isn't surprising. I mean, Hollywood is glitz and glam, but let's be real. It's also a lot of greedy, power-hungry sharks just waiting for a drop of blood in the water. However, one would expect more from a kind-hearted and highly successful Tina Fey. According to Wiseman, when she reached out to the extremely successful comedian for a little help getting a chunk of her own share of the Mean Girls money, the actress went silent. That's right, guys. It's not just that frat boy you met once at a party freshman year ghosting you. Apparently, even Tina Fey can't be trusted with responding to a text. And obviously, this is infuriating. I mean, I expect this from the men of the industry. They're so used to getting what they want when they want it. But women? Come on, we have to stick together. The entertainment industry is one that has been historically dominated by men. It takes women twice as long to make even the smallest dent of a career compared to their less talented male counterparts. So yeah, this feels like a slap in the face, Tina. Help a sister out. Wiseman deserves a piece of the pie because, to be honest, she wrote the recipe for the pie in the first place. How was she to know that that pie would be worth millions of dollars 16 years down the line? Do better, Tina, and text our girl Rosalind back. On the same topic, the film industry doing women dirty. Recent news has been uncovered about the coercion of actress Charlene Yee from The Disaster Artist. The film did great things for actor and director James Franco, a man, woo, and the arguably uglier brother of the Franco Bros duo. You didn't hear that from me. Anyways, the movie was released in 2017 and did fairly well in the box office. The film follows the making of the terrible cult classic, The Room, created by Tommy Wiseau. Franco played Wiseau's friend and even received a Golden Globe for his performance. Needless to say, the film painted him in quite a favorable light career-wise. Now, Charlene Yee posted on her Instagram story quite a shocking and downright upsetting piece of news that sprinkles quite a dark light on the well-accomplished actor/filmmaker. Yee stated that during her time filming The Disaster Artist, a lot of allegations were coming out about Franco. The not-so-becoming ones that so many of the men in this industry keep getting. Yeah. So Yee, being the strong and powerful woman that she is, decided this movie was not where she wanted to be. Her career mattered less to her than her morals, which I respect the heck out of. So, she attempted to quit. But in Hollywood, doing the right thing never is easy, is it? Yep. Instead of letting her go like she requested, they bribed her. Ew. First, they offered her a bigger role, then more money. Crying, Yee explained she did not want more of anything. She simply wanted out. Working alongside Franco made her feel unsafe. And that should have been enough, period. She stated Seth Rogen was a huge gaslighter, making up ridiculous excuses for Franco, overall persuading Yee to stay in the film. This is so not okay. And it's just a long-running issue of white men in the industry getting exactly what they want. They're able to do what they want, break the law, and violate the safety of other human beings with little to no consequences. I mean, Armie Hammer is literally a cannibal. And this hasn't even been brought to light until now. It's sad. I would love to still watch a Kevin Spacey film. He was a strong actor and probably one of the best of our time. But a face on the big screen or red carpets doesn't cover up what's corrupt. It's not appropriate for these people to continue to get away with just downright bad behavior. On a whole different note, movies are starting to seep into the science realm, and I know that may sound cool, but I'm deathly afraid of future-like dystopias, so this news is actually my biggest nightmare. Scientists have confirmed that an Iron Man suit could be created in the future, and on top of that, Elon Musk's partner wants to create his own Jurassic Park. Stop. Please stop. The last thing I want to do is wake up to a T-Rex outside of my window. We don't need it, guys. Aren't zoos cool enough? I feel like we don't have to keep pushing the boundaries of what our world can handle. Say it with me. They went extinct for a reason. Listen, if you want to see dinos, go ride the Universal Studios Jurassic Park ride. It's just as good. If our science is great enough to recreate live dinosaurs, I can promise you the animatronics will be pretty lifelike. Just don't push for real dinos, please. I'm begging you. After the break, we will be covering this summer's upcoming releases and what I, the person with the best opinions ever, thinks about them. Stay tuned.
Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. It keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Hey, Bryn. I just got my second vaccine, and I'm so ready to go back into the world and just live my life, you know? Not clubbing, not sitting inside at restaurants. I'm excited to go to the movies, but oh no, I don't know what to see. All these movies are getting spit out too fast. I can't wrap my little head around what's worth it and what isn't. Help me. Help me, please. Okay. Dry your eyes. I'm gonna tell you. Jeez, oh my God. Get a tissue or something. Get a hold of yourself. This is disturbing. I'll tell you. Stop twisting my arm. Okay, granted. These haven't come out yet, right? So I am literally judging a book by its cover. And by a cover, I mean cast, crew, and trailer, if there was one. But I feel like I've got a good scope of what's worth it and what simply will be the biggest waste of a movie stub. All right, May. First thing I'm going to recommend is 4 Good Days. Now, maybe I'm biased because Mila Kunis is my biggest girl crush ever, but honestly, I think this film is going to win some awards. It stars Glenn Close and Mila Kunis. Need I say more? And it's going to be a heart-wrenching story of a mother and daughter who are attempting to get through 4 days of Kunis' character's sobriety from heroin, just so she can get a new type of rehabilitation treatment that could end her addiction. Needless to say, they need 4 good days. See what I did there? All right, not the right time. The trailer looked really good. I mean, Mila Kunis is probably one of the most gorgeous women alive, and they make her look extremely disgusting. The lighting and cinematography is dark, it's dingy, and it's harsh, showing the ruthlessness withdrawal can be. I think it's going to be really well done, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. In late May, A Quiet Place 2 is coming out. This movie has been postponed till May 28th, so I'm excited to see how the franchise continues now that John Krasinski is no longer present in the movie. However, with his real-life wife, the star Emily Blunt, still in the films, I know he'll be there, either in flashbacks or, let's be honest, ghost form. This movie will be good, but as most sequels go, it probably won't be as good as the OG. That's how these things go. I mean, that's how it is, guys. Also, because when the original came out, it was a huge moment for horror as a genre. The story was new, and the cinematography was startling. It had edge. It had character. And it had suspense to boot. If you go to see the sequel, I recommend seeing it in theaters. I know that is not what anyone wants to hear in this day and age with COVID and everything, and maybe you haven't gotten the vaccine yet, but it's true. Horror and action films just aren't the same when they're not on the big screen. I mean, why do you think that Marvel and all these films are prolonging and postponing their announcement dates? Too many things distract you from the film. They make jump scares, the quiet moments, and the big action scenes seem boring if you don't watch them in a dark, desolate theater. Look, you don't have to listen to me, but take my word for it. If you see A Quiet Place 2 at home, There are so many suspenseful lulls in the film, when they're being, quiet, that you will for sure pick up your phone and completely miss a good jump scare that might have made you pee yourself in the theaters. On August 27th, I am skipping ahead a bit because I am thrilled for this day, 2 amazing films will be released. First of all, the long-awaited third film by Jordan Peele, Candyman, will be released. Okay, this gives me a great moment to just briefly talk about Get Out. I cannot count how many times I've seen the film, but let's just say, it's a masterpiece. And Us, his second film, I would say was just as good. A little less psychologically terrifying than Get Out, but scary just the same. So, of course, Candyman is going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's going to tackle gentrification, the visual art realm, horror tales coming to life, and so much more. I mean, with Peele at the forefront, you know it's going to be good. The other film to look out for on August 27th is a documentary titled Get Back. The film follows the Beatles preparing and recording their hit song, Let It Be. You know, the song, Let It Be, Let It Be. Maybe I'm not doing it justice, but you know what I mean. It's produced by Walt Disney Studios, so the funding is about to be clean. Also, who doesn't love a little inside look into the Fab Four? They are the most prophetic rock and roll pop group of all time. I know, there are handfuls of documentaries, shorts, movies, and books about the Beatles, but I really think this one is going to be cool. Let It Be is one of those songs that everyone knows. I mean, remember at the beginning of COVID when Gal Gadot got all her famous friends to sing that song? Yeah, that was Let It Be. You probably couldn't tell because the singing was just that bad. Stick to acting, my friends. Okay, but it's known all around the world as a song of peace and love, so I think the making of it and seeing how it was actually curated will be a beyond cool way to look at things. Next up, we'll be looking at one of Netflix's newer docs, Operation Varsity Blues, the college admission scandal. It'll be pretty interesting and honestly, might be a hot take, so get ready. Get set. 'Cause here it comes, guys. Stay tuned.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Imagine being like, Mommy, I'm not that smart. I'm not that talented. I've honestly got nothing riding for me as a candidate for a prestigious institution, but I really want to go to Yale. And then Mommy goes, Oh, my little cherub, your wish is my wallet's command, and finesses their way into some of the most sought-after institutions in the country. Yep, that's what happened for the longest time, and was finally uncovered by the investigation titled Operation Varsity Blues. And Netflix just unveiled their newest take on the story. Well, new is an interesting word to use. It follows the infamous Rick Singer, the mischievous college admissions counselor who was able to have rich and influential adults pay him boatloads of money to cheat their way into college using his quote-unquote side door approach, as he calls it. This side door approach is this. The parents paid to either have their children admitted under athletic scholarships for sports the kids did not participate in, or have an adult rig the ACT/SAT. So all their answers were correct. If that doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what will. Except for the millions of other ways rich people get what they want in our classist society. But hey, whatever, am I right? As for the documentary, let's be honest, it's no Athlete A or Seaspiracy. What comes with uncovering the truth in this style of documentary is an edge of surprise. And, to be honest, Operation Varsity Blues kind of lacks that. It's not necessarily Netflix's fault. It's simply the timeline. This whole Varsity Blues scandal was unveiled spring of 2019, only 2 years prior to the film's release. And at that time, everyone was digging for the best scoop possible on the story. Needless to say, everything that people have wanted to hear about the scandal, well, it's already been said. So when Netflix decides to unveil the truth, there's not much to unveil. The audience is kind of like, well, sorry Netflix, we already knew that. I just had to open up my little Google machine and search up Varsity Blues, and look what I got. Your entire documentary. Yeah, it's that easy. Granted, the style for the documentary's storytelling was pretty cool. Because Rick Singer's phone was tapped for so long, they were able to recreate his phone calls with some of the world's most powerful and wealthy people in the U.S. And the stuff they say is beyond hysterical. Honestly, if there's any reason to watch the movie, it's to hear rich people say the dumbest stuff. However, the movie does have its heartbreaking and dramatic moments as well. There is a scene where they piece together clips from kids getting rejected from their dream schools. Oof. These aren't the cheating, wealthy, bratty children we had been following prior to the scene. These are hardworking, normal kids with the same dreams as everyone else, and yet they're still getting beat out by people who have more money than themselves. It's sad. But it's a real show of how messed up money has made us all. I know I am beating a dead horse here with my social justice warrior shtick. But something's gotta give, guys. If this doc showed us anything, it definitely didn't unveil, but it highlighted how messed up money makes us. The movie ends by saying that although Rick Singer's side door approach is closed indefinitely now that he was caught, there's still the option for rich people to use a quote-unquote backdoor approach instead. This backdoor approach is simply just using their wealth straight up. Buying Harvard a new building, getting USC a new swimming pool, or just donating a gross amount of money will basically get your kid right into the school of your choice. It's that easy. It's disgusting. It's sickening. But it's sadly the way the world works. I mean, I applied to college. So did my siblings. We all had to work with what we got to get in where we could. That's how everyone is. And I can't imagine kids who worked their butts off for all their lives trying to get into an Ivy League and getting kicked out by a YouTuber whose mommy happens to be on Full House. Sorry, Olivia Jade. Not sorry. Netflix's documentary does a good job of showing us this. It's nothing you wouldn't have already felt had you read the news in late 2019, but it still is enough to make your stomach churn at the thought of a bratty dumb, rich kid getting into Harvard over the next scientist to cure cancer, or the next Elon Musk. I don't know, guys. Let's think about what money is making us do. Thanks, Netflix, for bringing that to light. After this short break, we will be getting into my favorite segment of the show today, which is, say it with me now, We Hate John Walker. Yep, that's right. Marvel's new, terrible version of Captain America will be ripped to shreds by yours truly as I dive into every reason why he deserves to be thrown off the face of the earth, or a cliff, or a plane, or all of the above. Sorry, not sorry. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blanks and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Spoilers ahead. Just saying. So, hey, you right there. If you haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet, or even more so, if you're not all caught up with the season, you better get on that because I'm about to ruin the whole thing for you if you're not keeping up. There. I warned you. Consider yourself warned. So, no sticking your fingers in your ears making the la-la sound to block me out. No yelling at me because you're waiting to watch the newest episode with your roommates tonight. Nope. Sorry. You've been warned, and I am not holding back. John Walker. Johnny, baby. Oh my God. You are actually the worst. I mean, I hated you since your first appearance in episode 1, but I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and now I really hate you. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Steve Rogers, a.k.a. the OG Captain America. The cap with the body? Yeah, that one. He's gone. Dead. He decided to go and live his life the way he wanted to, in the 40s with his wife. Oh, sorry. A girl he kissed once. Wrong of me. And grow old with her. So he gave the shield to Sam, a.k.a. the Falcon. Now, in the present, Sam thinks that he doesn't deserve the shield, which, fast forward to episode 5, he totally does. Anyways, because he feels inadequate, he gives the shield to the government. Cough, cough, stupid. And of course, the government lies and is like, OMG, yes, Sam. We totally want to protect Steve's legacy. He did so much for this country. We will keep this shield on display as an honor of his work, yada, yada, yada. And of course, the government is a liar. Oh, surprise there. And they go ahead and recruit John Walker to be the new Captain America. That's an oxymoron. If I've ever heard one, right? Am I right? Anyways, obviously, at first, we're all like, ew, what the heck is going on here? But, episode 2 rolls around and I'm like, oh, maybe he's a good guy. I mean, he wants to team up with Bucky and Sam in order to defeat the Flag Smashers. He knows he's got huge shoes to fill with Steve Rogers being the OG. Yeah, no duh, John. And he knows that at the end of the day, he's got to work twice as hard because he doesn't have any actual superpowers. He's just kind of fit and was in the army? I don't know. But when action starts getting real, and they're all trying to find out how to destroy the super soldier serum that the Flag Smashers have, he's inadequate. And his true colors really do shine through. And let me tell you guys, they are definitely not red, white, and blue. First of all, he disrespects my boys Sam and Bucky, who, I don't know, actually know what they're dealing with. I mean, Bucky is literally a super soldier, so I think he knows what he's talking about. But when they refuse to work with him, because, I don't know, he literally has attempted to take their best friend's place on the Avengers. He literally says the most cliche line ever written. He tells Bucky and Sam that if they won't work with him, then they better, quote-unquote, stay out of my way. I mean, come on, man, what are you, 5? Relax. Then this guy really takes the super soldier serum and straight up kills a man. Yep, you heard me right. Lamar, his partner, is like, the super soldier serum only makes you more of what you already are. Well, I guess John Walker is an aggressive jerk and a murderer because he becomes an even bigger one when he takes the serum. Man's really said, let me just kill this guy in front of everyone, and then when the government is like, yeah, awkward, you can't be Captain America. He legitimately makes this whole hissy fit about how he's always been controlled by the government and that he has always obeyed orders. Blah, 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 teary-eyed, crying, whining. Weak. Such a weak argument. Talk about a loser, am I right, guys? Oh, did I mention that I hate him? Anyways, the show ends with an extra scene in the credits with Walker making his own do-it-yourself craft version of the Captain America shield. All right, buddy, relax. He's clanking away, and I'm like, give it up. What are you gonna do with that? I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to find out, but that's not in favor of him. That's more in the excitement that I know Bucky and Sam are going to drag him in this final episode. I'm really sad there's only one left because Falcon and the Winter Soldier has actually been a pretty good piece of Marvel. It's funny, it's action-packed, and its villain, the young Carly, the Radical, I mean, she's one of the better villains in Marvel history. She's got a very similar kind of setup to Ultron. She's a radical. She's gotten the audience hating her, but also deeply understanding her, and that's what's important about creating a good antagonist. Now look at John Walker. Yeesh. I mean, the writers did a mean job making us hate him because I am waiting for him to literally get a Bucky metal arm punch right to the throat. Sorry. Too much? Awkward. I do not care. I hate, we hate John Walker. But don't worry, you'll be hearing all about what I think on Sunday. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure to come back here every Tuesday and Sunday so I can give you the hottest takes, the coolest gossip, and the most exciting opinions about entertainment, movies, and all that jazz. I'm Bryn Taylor, and this was Box Office Addict.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.